Hello, my beautiful friends. I am here today, early in the morning. Actually, I think it's out in the afternoon. But I wanted to wish you guys a great Saturday. I hope you guys are enjoying yourself. I also wanted to bring you guys a little message. I wanted to, actually, I wanted to, I'm going to bring this message, by the way, in Spanish too. So if you do hear the video in Spanish, I'm going to put it in Spanish too. So those who doesn't understand English. Well, the reason that I came alive is because I had spoke to somebody, and this topic usually it's a topic that I like to talk about, how to forgive somebody. Well, let me tell you about the little story. Actually not the story. The person that I was speaking to, the gentleman that I was speaking to, he got contact with me, and he asked me for a couple of advice, as usual. I wanted to share this with you guys. Like I said, this gentleman contacted me, and he asked me. He was explaining to me about his ex-relationship that he had with a certain young lady. He was asking me that he was trying to get back to her, but that she blocked him. And finally, he ended up blocking his number and calling her back. So he was trying to talk to her. He was trying to ask her for forgiveness. And that when he started speaking to her, he didn't know whether she was going to hang up the phone up on him or not. So I asked him, I said, so what did you get to talk to her? And he said, yeah, I did. As a matter of fact, I did. But the conversation that they had, it kind of shocked him, because he thought that he would never get through to her, and that he was afraid. He was afraid to make that move from the beginning of trying to call her. And he said to me that he says, I watched one of your videos that you put out, telling us to forgive, and telling the audience to forgive. So I took your advice and I gave her a call. And I thought that she wasn't going to answer. But I had to call her with my number blocked, because I thought that she still had me blocked. That's funny. So as the conversation kept on going, I kept on asking him more questions. And he kept on telling me, I thought that she was going not to speak to me. I thought that she was going to hang up the phone up on me and not talk to me at all. So I asked him, I said, so what did you speak to her about? So he said that the first thing that he told me was that he said to her that he was sorry, that he knew that he hurt her, but he did not know how to come through to her and tell her that, because he was afraid. And he thought that she wasn't going to accept his apology. So he said to me, once he spoke to her, that it was like when he heard her voice, it was a voice that he knew that she had forgave him a long time ago. So he says to me, I keep on asking him, so did you guys get into an argument? Did you guys spoke about, what happened between both of you? He goes, yes, I did. He says, I did. And, he says, I might sound like a coward or maybe stupid when I tell you this. He was telling me. He says, but my tears came out because I knew how much I was in love with this woman and I hurt her. So I started asking him more questions, and he was explaining to me, telling me about how he felt, how she felt. He said, I asked him, I said, does she still feel the same way for you? And he says, yes, I really thought that she stopped loving me, but she didn't. She still loves me. She found in her heart to forgive me. He says, but I don't forgive myself for what I did to her because I hurt her. So my whole thing is here is my whole topic here is, I know sometimes you are afraid of approaching a person to ask them for forgiveness. Well, this gentleman, he found the courage to do it. He found the courage to call this woman and to ask for forgiveness. Sometimes it only takes one phone call to pick up that phone and say to that person, I'm sorry. And then who knows? Maybe the person has forgiven you, or maybe not, but at least you try. You won't know how that person feels or how that person thinks of you unless you pick up that phone and ask for forgiveness. If you feel that I know sometimes we get scared, we get terrified. We're like, oh my gosh, should we do that? This gentleman did. He gave the step, and from what I heard from the last conversation that we had, at the end, he was. I said to him, so what's going on? What's going on? What's happening now? Okay, now you know that she forgave you, and you got to talk to her. He goes, well, we're going out. We're going out for some dinner. We're going to go out. I'm taking her for dinner, and we're going to talk more. It only take a phone call to get what he wanted. So, congratulations if you're watching me out there. But my whole thing is, listen, I know sometimes we seem to hold a grudge against someone who has hurt us very much, and we seem not to forgive. And in our heart, it tears us apart. It breaks us completely because we're holding that grudge. Sometimes we have to let go of that grudge that we hold towards another person. And if you have hurt somebody and you know that it was wrong, and you did someone really dirty and you cheat on them or you hurt their feelings, pick up that phone and call them and apologize. Say sorry. Say sorry. Maybe the person doesn't want to talk to you right now, but in time, that person is going to get through to you. Actually, you will get through to that person. And those who are hurting, who are holding that grudge, let it go. Forgive for you and forgive, for them. You don't want to keep on holding that grudge, and you don't want to keep on feeling like, oh, that mother F did this to me, or, just be miserable. Just let it go. Forgive. And if that person comes to you and asks you for forgiveness, forgive them. You don't have to be with them, and you don't have to go and date them, but just forgive them, for you, for your heart, for your soul. And just stay, the person who's doing the asking for the forgiveness, take the courage to pick up that phone and ask for forgiveness, because maybe you're just holding that on you, and you're like, how do I do this? How do I ask that person for forgiveness? How do I say sorry? Just do it. Pick up that phone and do it. Or just go to that person and say, look, I'm sorry I hurt you. I'm sorry that I did this or that, or whatever you did to that person. And just don't hold no grudges, Just let it go. That's my message for you guys. You guys take care. And hi, Siobhan. I see you. Anyway, you guys take care. Enjoy. Like I said, don't hold no grudges against nobody. And if you have to apologize to somebody, do it. Because that's going to eat you for the rest of your life, you know. And once you apologize to that person, you're going to feel relief. You're going to be like, oh, I finally did it. You know, I finally got the courage to apologize to that person and say I'm sorry and admit that I was wrong. That's my message. Talk to you guys. Oh, I'm about to come back in 2 minutes because I'm doing this video in Spanish. See you guys later on. Bye.